That music is hitting hard today. You see these smiles and the confident smirks and grins on our faces here? Because you know what it is. Welcome to The Real Deal, a Real Madrid podcast with me, Jarod Hector, joined by Sid and Loconte after Real Madrid's 2-1 win over Barcelona in El Clasico. Fellas, need I ask, how are you feeling right now?
Anything is possible.
Ecstatic.
trying to be Kevin Garnett out here.
I feel like Jason Tatum after the ring, just trying to find the right person to ring. But I feel so happy, man. I'm so happy. My Real Madrid is back.
You're like, yo, you ever think that at the end of a championship where like you just run around looking for somebody to hug because all the emotions just go through your body? You're like, I just need to hug somebody because we did this shit.
I'm so happy. I screamed the first two offside goals. I screamed like every time the offside was denied. But I'm just been happy all morning. It was a game that could have been even, and we went and cooked them. It's the most satisfying feeling on earth. 3.5 xG to 1. I just want to say, like 2-1 doesn't reflect how we actually fried them in every damn phase of the game. We sent Hansi Flick's boys home. Get out of here, bums. You didn't belong on the same pitch.
Domination in that match. You mentioned the underlying XG 3.5, 3.6, depending on which site you looked at. 1 for Barcelona, the one they scored. Loconte, your feelings, and then I want to get into your premonition. You're like, I think I know Xabi Alonso pretty well. And I think you on our Friday show predicted this would be the starting 11.
I mean, for people that watched the show on Friday, they would know. But for people that didn't, yeah, pretty much like I'm feeling exactly how I expected to feel, if that makes sense, right? Going into this game and exactly into this season with Alonso as coach, first El Clasico, I think the team just left that feeling in me, like that confidence wasn't actually out of nowhere. I'm actually confident on what I'm seeing with this team rather than, am I deluding myself a little bit just because it's a change? It rather today just kind of nailed on into, actually, no, I'm correct on my assessment of this team.
You are 100% correct. So let's start with the beginning of the match, the lineup, right? Which This is Xabi Alonso's 15th, however many matches we've had. This is the 15th different, the same amount of different lineups we've had. He's never started the same lineup twice in a row this season. He started, all you Space Jam fans, what I consider our monsters, right? In Valverde, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and Bellingham, right? And I've said this to you guys numerous times on and off camera. With those 4 dudes, how do we not dominate people? Because they're just so, not only are they technically sound, they are physically superior to probably every other midfielder they play. And I don't know about you guys, but it bore out to me because they were winning duels all over the place. Their collective mindset as a group, I thought, was outstanding. And that was something I was worried about coming into this game. When adversity hits, offsides right away, a penalty didn't get called, right? I was like, oh shit, what are they gonna do? None of that fazed them, and they really said, "Fuck it, we're here to win this game. We're here to dominate and follow exactly what Xabi Alonso wants us to do."
Yeah, just want to say, the last 4 years when we would go down in games, something would go wrong. We wouldn't play well to start, and then we would turn it around. This reminded me more of the Zidane years, where you actually have a plan that works. You do a good job executing it, and things go against you. And we still kept executing it. And I thought that was the most beautiful part of this game. Like the emotional highs and lows. Oh my God, that was a roller coaster.
And managing them, right? As Jude said in the pregame, it's not about, like, at the end of the day, like they're elite professionals. So are we. Tactics are what they are. How do you manage the ebbs and flows emotionally of a big game? And this, to me, is the best we've managed our emotions as this group clearly all season.
Yeah. 100%. Yep. And I think that I just want to say, I think that's sorry. I just want to say to feed off Loconte, to get Loconte set up. Like you said, it was one of the best mid blocks we've ever had. What I thought was really great was that the players were comfortable knowing, okay, like if he beats me, I'll go here. If he beats me, I'll go here. If they play it back, we'll go press. If the press gets broken, this is what we'll do. There was a lot of if-then solutions already in their head. So they felt confident. Last year, we'd go up 2-0. they would decide what to do emotionally. There was none of that this year. It was all pre-decided. Alonso set play after set play. Like the whole game was one big Alonso set play, it felt like.
I thought it was a tactical masterclass by Xabi Alonso. Clearly, he had clear ideas of what he wanted to do. We were very aggressive in our press, in our counter pressing, and going after. If we lost the ball, going back to win it. And then when we settled into that mid block, Loconte, we pushed Barcelona into areas that we wanted them to be in. Look, they could do 9 million passes a day if it's just sideways to each other. Fucking knock yourselves out, because nobody's getting into any dangerous situations to hurt us.
Yeah, I mean, this was one of the best mid-blocks that I've really ever seen. Not just by Real Madrid, but in general. Because even the simple back pass was requiring a lot of motion from them, right? And you could tell that they're just getting worn out time and time again. And when you make a team uncomfortable to pass the ball back while you're sitting in a block and barely even running, you know that you're doing a good job. You're tactically sound. Like, we had the Friday show, which I'm going to reference. Tchouaméni was brought in, right? This is why he plays. He just went like, okay, I'm going to scream for you all night long. Just make sure that you're doing the other things correctly. Guess what? Zone 14, no access. No. They just went like, nope, yes. You just can't enter it. That's the most dangerous zone. Yeah. So, in terms of a tactical setup and what Alonso will achieve, I think that today was one of these moments where we saw the players fully buy into what the coach ideology is. They are willing to ride and die for him, and this is a huge chunk when we're talking about a team filled with superstars. It doesn't happen every day. Not every coach can achieve something like that, let alone at this young age. So props to Alonso for everything that he did out there.
Without question. You mentioned the team, both of you, the collective mindset and the buy-in, right? Everybody came in with the same idea. I saw covering for one another. All of the things, the hallmarks of teams that win trophies all season, right? Is what you saw today on the pitch. Something that I thought about instantly when I was watching the match today is something you said, Loconte, on Friday. You know, we had some concerns of the fan base about Carreras' quote-unquote dip in form, right? And Loconte, you made the astute point, well, when you take away Dean Howson and now he has to do all that ball progressing work on his own, you notice, right, other areas of his game suffers. Well, he had his ball progressing partner back in Howson, and I thought just that alone, he looks so much more comfortable on the ball today and so much better in terms of what to do because he was in some tight and tricky situations and was able to deal with the pressure, evade like he was to start the year, and advance us out of Barcelona's pressure.
Shall we discuss the early events of the game, gentlemen? So I just think it's funny.
Yes.
The first play of the game, though, just
the game kind of started.
Well, just the first play of the game, Dean actually steps up way too high and gets caught out, and then he immediately makes a bad pass, and it's like it was forgotten. It was forgotten. It didn't even happen. It's like
didn't linger. Didn't linger. Yeah, he had that bad play early, and then someone gave it away deep early. Those were the first two. I was like, we're a little shaky, but none of those things.
It was Dean. He made the mistake jumping, and then he gave it away. And off the bat, I'm like, both. Yeah, both. Yep. That was okay. So that happens, but Barcelona don't get a shot on target till the 33rd minute. I think we just have to touch on the first half because the dominant period of our game was the first half, not the second.
Correct.
So first half, we're playing in one of the best mid blocks we've ever seen. It's just like you said, Tchouaméni cutting down the spaces in zone 14, and then everyone rotating around him. I thought the most remarkable thing though was our defending from our attackers was ridiculous.
Listen, I think I tweeted this out. I know he didn't score today, but I thought Vini played so well out of possession today in terms of his pressing and all of it tracking back. And I get to it in the second half, but I think that was part of his frustration with when he got subbed off. He's like, okay, you tell me you want me to work hard out of possession and I'm doing it. And now you're taking me off. Now That's not the way you handle it in that situation, but emotions high. It's a Clasico. I get all that. But I think that was the result of that. He's like, look, I'm working like you asked me to, busting my ass out of possession, which he was. And I thought in possession, he didn't rush. He didn't make mistakes. Like, I think, Sid, you might have mentioned this maybe 2 or 3 shows ago, or maybe you, Loconte. He gets it now, what his role is in this system, right? I don't got to carry the ball 9 million yards. No. When I get it, I know exactly where I'm going, what the move's going to be, what the pass is going to be, whether I'm going to take my guy line dribble. Like, he seems so assured of himself now. And I think all of those things together, he was like, why are you taking me off? Like, I'm good. So that was that.
Well, so, and that's where, and so the second half, the attackers get tired. We have to make subs. But the first half, when they're all fit, when they're all like fully fit, the defensive effort was ridiculous. And I think it starts with Vini and Mbappe more than anything because they're so fast. And Mbappe really tried closing down some of their players sometimes, and they get so scared. Szczesny was terrified. Szczesny was
he almost nicked the ball twice off Szczesny, like doing that.
Yep. And this is all the stuff they said Mbappe wouldn't do.
The Kubarsi one, when he was loading the shot, Mbappe just goes from behind and goes like, nope.
Yes, very good. And so we're pressing them super high. Jude on the right, and I want to talk about that real quick. So the mid block obviously is designed to actually, it's like an upper mid block. It's like we really didn't want to retreat in the first half that much. So most of the time it's a mid block that goes into a press and then gets back into the middle, but we're not letting them get into our box. We're setting up like 20, 30 yards in front of our box or 20 yards in front of our box normally. When we win it back, we're trying to play the Jude in the right half space, and then he finds people through the middle. Why do we think we went there, Loconte?
I mean, normal, right? It's just the Jude thing. We see a lot with Alonso that he likes to do shape-shifting a lot. Like, that's one of his biggest things, and you could see that Jude was floating. But the reason why I wanted to block that left side of theirs, which would mean like our right side, meant that their progression, he was going to force constant switches to Yamal, which was like one of the things that I had pointed out before the game. You wanted that switch to happen as quickly as possible, or you wanted Frenkie and Pedri to turn around constantly and reshuffling, trying to keep possession because they might be too scared to play the ball forward in fear of transition. So that is exactly what happened. Because Jude is so good at reading passages of play, it's very easy to put him anywhere, really, and you just know that he's going to be doing that. As you said, it was not really, it was an upper mid-block, because he still wanted to press them on the first phase. So when Szczesny had the ball, he definitely wanted to block the passages, make Szczesny take the hard decision, which I think he believed Szczesny would sometimes go for Frenkie or Pedri, but that unfortunately didn't happen. They were going wide. But for the most part, you just saw that the acumen of the players, like Orda moving, Jude moving, it's the way how they're pinning their pivot, shifting it, a lot of spaces to access. And then once you have clogged Barcelona more centrally, because Lamine Yamal likes to get the ball and cut on the inside, that means that they have too many central bodies. What's open there? It's a ball out wide for Vini. And we saw that play time and time again. And Barcelona just was too scared to push Koundé to support Lamine Yamal. So therefore, we kept having numerical superiority in all of those phases.
Yeah, totally. That was dominant. And I want to say, I didn't watch all of Barca PSG, honestly. But if you guys saw it, that was as bad as their performance against any team in over a year. One of their worst performances. And what really stood out was the Hansi Flick team playing side to side.
Worst performance by them against PSG.
Yes, and maybe they're even more hurt than they were a few weeks ago, but more than anything,
everybody's got injuries. That ain't no excuse. So are we. We got plenty of injuries too.
Yeah, everyone has injuries. I do think they were a weakened team. That's not to make an excuse for them, but like, I mean, for example, Rashford was nothing like Rafinha. Like, listen, I like Rashford, but on some level, I do like making fun of the Man United and Premier League fans who thinks he's some superstar. He would not start for us. He's not starting for Barcelona. You guys overrate him a little. He never was on that trajectory, and maybe he needed to be here. But today, you kind of saw the decade of footballing education he never got play out. Like, he just couldn't do anything.
Oh, he's certainly not Rafinha. He is certainly no Rafinha.
Yeah, and Rafinha would have been terrifying. But like, has Barcelona ever played under Flick so many side-to-side passes? That might be like a record for lack of progression for them in a game.
It was just beautiful because clearly that it was by design, right? That was the goal. And Loconte, you said, let's try to force this into Lamine Yamal heliocentric ball, right? Like, because he's going to turn it over and all that. But it's even like he couldn't even do that because you get the ball in the corner. And it's like, okay, Carreras is on you. And the defense and you saw later in the second half, he started to shift more centrally, right? Because he's like, I'm doing nothing out here. And yes, he did get that ball into Koundé, but I would argue that was by design, right? Like you want Koundé going in there because he has no idea what he's doing when he comes into the box, right? On a pass like that. I just thought that the club's Carreras' play one-on-one versus him was excellent. I thought he gave just the right amount of buffer space. He had the correct body angling position when he would start his downhill run to cut inside, right? There was a second person coming saying, okay.
Also, you know that he was always going to cut inside. So that made it much easier.
It was just, yeah, they did their homework, right? Like a club that did their homework and executed, right? Because look, every club has a game plan before every match. The question is, are you going to execute it or not, right? And how well are you going to execute it? And this is the best execution the club has had. If you look at our underlying metrics, everything kind of followed, Sid, the same trend it's been following all year. We dominated in shots, dominated in XG, like all the things, right? And we were a little bit unlucky or unclinical, you can argue both sides, that we weren't able to literally score more, right? And put 4 or even 5 past Barcelona.
Yeah, I definitely think we could have had 3. And it's just, between the disallowed goals, the small margins, it's a tricky fixture. We didn't fully get around that. And Loconte, I mean, I don't want to get too much into refs, but I guess we have to touch on it, what we think of the couple referee decisions. So first, the Vini penalty choice. Yeah, like those were honestly, that's why I'm so impressed. Those were momentum killers. Like that just took the air out of the game for me as a Real Madrid fan. I'm like, we're cooking you. And then I'm like, oh, I can't even say we're up 2-0, none of that. And I mean, the first one, I thought like the commentators were saying you could see on the other angle, Yamal doesn't touch the ball. Very clear. It was a penalty to me. Loconte, you say the same? I mean, I guess we're all you guys we're all in agreement here. What about the second one?
Yes. Most intriguing part for me wasn't really those big calls, right? Which was the offsides. I mean, by the way, we have proved that Mbappe wasn't even offside on the goal that they disallowed. But for me, it's not that. For me, it's the fact that first 10 minutes, Jude got shot 3 times into the ground with his back. No call. No call.
They do this thing in La Liga where because he's 6'2" or whatever, he's not allowed to get fouled by a small person. So if a small person touches him, it's not a foul. Where I'm like,
yes, and that also played out with Pedri in the like late in the game when he's literally, I'm like watching that run. I'm like, oh yeah, this is why we buy the big players. Shove that little pussy to the ground, like go. and
I think McNamara even said it. Like it's not Jude's fault that Pedri's 5'5" and runs into his elbow. Like that's not his fault. Like he's 6'2", whatever. Deal with it. Like, and I think he gets penalized because he's big. And Pedri gets extra credit because he's small.
Clasico, but players just need to remove their elbows before they start playing.
Hey, but the red card was such good karma, though, at the end. It was the cherry on top. It's like, get out of here. You got all the calls. You got all the offside. You got all this crap. Still got outplayed. Get off my pitch. Like,
by the way, this great Pedri, the best midfielder in Spain, didn't look like that to me in this match. I don't know.
Because when you man mark them, and with athletes like ours, they can't play. They don't play football when you man mark them. And honestly, it was really fun to see how tired he was and how we ran him ragged. What are your thoughts there, Loconte? You got something to say?
You know what's funny, right? It's the fact that this narrative of Pedri being not only the best midfielder in Spain, but also in a world of football, because people perceive midfielders in just one way and there is no other way to be a midfielder. It's the fact that I saw Barca fans throughout the whole game bashing Frankie de Jong for delaying his passes, this and that, while Pedri wasn't even going forward with his moves, right? He was just going backwards. Kubarsi, okay, here's Valde. And he was gassing his teammates. By the way, hats off to Frankie for that interview where he said that sometimes I delay my pass because I don't want to put my teammates in bad spots. Well, guess what, Pedri? You maybe should listen to that a little bit, because there were numerous times when Madrid was setting that trap up for their fullback and Pedri was just going like this, then here's the ball. And the fullback is like, what the hell do I do here? So it's just about control. We knew that that pivot is going to be weak or shifted. So how are you going to move around them? So if you're not going to let them move forward, which would have been Fermin between the lines, Fermin had to constantly either come back or move to the wings because there was no space there whatsoever. Then you have completely removed those pivots out of the game. When you have
Loconte, come closer to the mic. Loconte, come closer to the mic too. Just come closer to the mic too when you speak.
Yeah. So lean into the mic.
They have two players that are turnover prone on the wings. It's very hard to manage a game like that. And it boils down to both of their pivots. Well, they lacked, for lack of a better word here, balls to go against fielders. That's the truth. They just didn't want to have that duel. They're like, nope, I can't.
Well, listen, if I got to see Camavinga and all these dudes, like I don't want to duel them either, right? Like those guys are monsters, and they were awesome today.
Hey, we got a quick super chat I want to just bring up while we're on referees memes. Thank you for the super chat. First offside, Fermin's back pass. Yeah, that's what everyone was asking me. The clip, like it was a Barcelona player who last touched it. So do you still call offside in those situations? Like are you saying if the whole line is up and you play like a ball from midfield to the goalie, and like if Mbappe is between the goalie and the last center back, he can't just intercept it? That's stupid. That actually makes no sense.
I agree.
Is that? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out. Am I stupid here?
After Benzema's goal on the Champions League final, if you remember, where they took it away, even though it was deflected to him by Fabinho.
But by the rules, it's not offside. So why are they making us feel stupid while watching the biggest game in football? Like, do you guys just not feel stupid sometimes with the referee? Like, do you like confused about the rules? Like, these are professionals paid. It's an obvious rule that a back pass is not offside. I don't know.
The frame is already on my Twitter, by the way. Mbappe is not even offside on that moment. When the ball gets played, the ball is still in motion towards Mbappe. Mbappe is still onside, not off. So there are two mistakes within the same action. First is the fact that Firmino is the last player who makes that touch or pass backwards, which means Mbappe has been sent through by Firmino. And the second one is the fact that Mbappe is not even offside. So
did you said that you think the league office waits? Do you think the league office waits till they have a picture they can put on social media and then puts that out? That's actually super sus though, because like
very suspect.
Why is there no TV replay in the biggest game in football?
Correct. We have every possible camera angle that exists and every frame of every camera that exists. Yet we wait and get the one angle and frame that, oh yeah, look, see, offsides. And it's like, okay, but why don't we know where is the player who has the ball, right? Like you don't get the full picture.
Not the first
you're
too many
you're
times.
Muted or something.
Like, I'm losing count of those situations.
So you guys mentioned back passes. I don't know if you saw this, but apparently in all the hullabaloo that happened like towards the end of the game, Vini or somebody said to Yamal, nothing but back passes to your defenders, huh? That's all you guys are doing. Like I was like, oh well, yeah, that's kind of what that was the game plan, right?
Yeah,
like cut off their supply and and back pass. So yeah.
And we were still pressing their goalie when they back pass. We were just not letting them do it. Like, you don't get to play football at the Bernabeu today, boys. Like, I love that. Like, it's the number of times we actually tried cutting off the backward angle was so effective. And even late in the game, there was a point when I think Rashford was dribbling back and Jude was trying to cut the pass off to the goalie or the fullback in front of him. Yeah, I like that because that's usually what teams have done to us and just flustered us. And why don't we just do that to them? Use our athletes. It was so nice.
It was great. It was just a glorious game. It was just a glorious match. Like, everything was almost perfect, right? Like there were a couple of areas where if we were a little bit better with the timing of our passes and the weights, we would have sprung Mbappe and Vini like for easy one-on goalie shots, right? And could have dusted this game in the first half even and put it to bed. But again, the process, and I think Loconte, we talked about this early in the season, right? You're like, I'm going to get nervous when the process starts looking bad, but the process looks great, right? Now it's a matter of us finally getting to the level where we fully executed. And we're not there yet, right? Trent's not fully integrated. Like, we got guys still coming back from injury, but slowly but surely it's coming.
So just on the note, we play well. We score our first goal.
Was it Loconte?
Loconte, you're still get closer to the mic.
Imagine if Trent was on this game.
Oh, yeah.
No, it would be crazy. Just one note. So we're dominating the first half. We score our goal. We finally get it after all the BS. And then Arda Güler makes that big mistake. Just want you guys' thoughts. Firstly, that hurt because, like the amount of dominance we had, you just don't want a mistake like that. But two, it feels like some people point out he struggles sometimes on the turn. Sometimes he thinks too much when he's turning. And that was a moment. That was bad. Any thoughts on that? Is that a tendency you guys think from Güler sometimes to get caught on the turn?
To me, it looked like just a brain cramp, right? Like, so if I'm not mistaken, first he chests the ball, right? Gets it down to his feet, and then almost looks like he stopped because he was thinking, what should I do next? And it's like, there's so much space around you. You don't just stop and think, just turn the fuck around and you can move forward, right? And a brain fart, right? And those happens. He's still a young player. I do think that point you made, though, that people are saying about sometimes you're thinking too much on the turn, like that could be a thing, right? If your back it's that the more you play, you get that sense, right? Where you can sense and feel who and what's around you and where everybody is, right? And clearly, was he 19? As a 19-year-old or 20, however old he is, that's not fully in tune yet, right? Like, but it's coming. He's just more reps.
That's the aspect of the controller profile that takes time to develop, I guess. Yeah. He's the surgical passer who's slowly expanding his game to like help conduct blocks. And the turn, honestly, he doesn't need the turn, but it definitely would help if he could turn a little more effectively.
It takes a while to have eyes behind your head, right? You need it, like you have to just, it's a sense thing, and you don't get it just you wake up and you have it, right? It's just you need more and more and more. And like I think, like to your point, Sid, he has the thread pass, all of that. That's going to be probably one of the later things to develop, but I think it's just more reps and more reps.
Yeah.
Personally, just feel that he needs to phase that dribbling out of his game completely. I don't think it's ever going to come for him, and I don't think he has the physical profile, nor the center of gravity to be able to pull it off. So probably I would work to phase that out on deeper areas. I'm not saying higher up the field, because I think that once he's facing the defender, he's definitely good. But there you took my words when you said it's that sharp and turn, right, where he lacks. Because there's always one extra touch, or the motion is a little bit slow. So try to cut that completely out of his game. And age, growth. One thing that I'll give him props that not many will, didn't impact his confidence at all.
Didn't.
Like made them.
Or the teams
just went back, right in the ball.
Yes. So on that note, what do we go to after that goal? I was going to be curious. Like, where are we going to go from here? We have to keep pressing. At that point, I took it for granted we would be able to keep pressing for the whole game, which we'll touch on. But at that point, we go to Vini, and Vini is just automatic right now. Whenever he takes that first step on the flank, and Vini crosses it in. If I'm not wrong, that was an open play sequence where Militao ended up near the box, correct? Or was that like post corner?
Yeah.
So that was the Xabi Alonso stuff. I want to talk about.
It's an open play sequence. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was Alonso play written all over it, in the sense that I don't know how many times I've seen, like, Barcelona used to have PK join the attack situationally if they needed a tall body in the box. But over here, that just came out of nowhere. I'm just like, we don't have Gonzalo on the pitch. We've been criticizing this season that we need a tall guy. Then out of nowhere, Militao pops up as if it's planned, passes it to Jude. I was in love at that point. I'm like, wow, like that just came out of nowhere. You caught me off guard, Xabi.
Because there's another one on the second half where Militao is in a box.
Yep.
That's after a dead ball situation, but that still happens.
Yeah.
Maybe just me on here, correct me if I'm wrong, that Vini cross felt automated. It's kind of like he knew what he has to do, because he doesn't even put his head up. right? To even check.
And the far post Militao
should be based on the flow of the game right now.
Yeah, no, and Militao purposely went far post on the fullback. He wasn't in the center back zone, and Jude purposely started there and vacated it when Militao went there. Oh, it was beautiful. See, and that's why.
And also, wrong is a little bit delayed.
Yeah, no, you go ahead, Jarod. Oh, we can talk.
I was going to say more of the automatisms.
It's delayed. You can tell.
Yeah, I more of the automatisms are there, right, and they're starting to show themselves. And the ceiling of this is when that, coupled with the improvisational genius of the players meld together, that's when this team is at its apex and it's going to hit its zenith, right? When, okay, we've got these, right, which we know, and then it's, yo, Vini, do some crazy fucking between the defender's leg, whatever, right? Like, when those things are playing off of each other, that's when ultimately, like, this squad will be, dare I say, like, unbeatable, right? Because everything will be clicking, right? And I think I think they can get there. I really do.
Any other thoughts on the first half, guys, before we transition? I got a super chat I want to bring into transition. Any thoughts?
No, love that first half. I that was after that first half, I was like, oh my God, can we replicate this, please? Like, Jesus. Like, I felt no fear whatsoever. I was like, we are good. Like, we're good.
What do you think, Loconte? Any final thoughts on first half?
2xG, 1L. You know, like, people don't seem to really appreciate how much this team creates. It's just insane.
A ton. I don't know where we are across the top 5 European leagues, but do we have the most? I mean, I know in Champions League we do, but I wonder if we have the most shots and chances created across the top 5 leagues. Or, I mean, I'd be shocked if we're outside the top 6.
Yeah, I gotta check that.
There, so they should be first, but we should be second, third, fourth at worst.
Yeah, interesting. I definitely will check that at some point. Now going into the second half expectations, and I'm going to bring the super chat here because it's somewhat relevant. Can we consider Barcelona a big team? Because they kept saying Madrid haven't beaten big teams from last season. Well, I will say this. We did a tier ranking of Barcelona of all the Champions League teams and contenders, and we put them in tier 2 and us in tier 1. And a lot of people were watching the Atletico game and making fun of us, like, "Oh, you guys are dumb." Listen, this is why, because it's the end of October, you're missing Joan Garcia, Robert Lewandowski, Rafinha. Araujo is like, Koundé looks like he needs to take a year off. And then you're just missing half your team. Pedri is pulling Vini's shirt in the 60th minute because he can't run anymore.
Literally,
he looked so dead at that moment. I'm like, I don't think you guys can win this.
Vini was dragging him. He was holding it, and Vini was dragging him while he was running. I was like,
Vini was dragging him forward.
I mean, the fact that Vini just went he really needed to pull that shirt because Vini wasn't going to give up there. That contact was not going to let Vini drop, but he just had no choice, literally.
Yeah, and
it's hard to find sequences like that.
That was so funny. Yeah, it is. That was so funny. And that's why at halftime, my thoughts were that I think we can press this one more half. I'm mainly because they have nobody off the bench, and we have Franco, Brahim, we have Rodrigo. So I thought our pieces would do it, and that's where we got to immediately touch on the start of the second half. We win the penalty. Mbappe misses the penalty. And the air gets taken out of the game. And with the air completely taken out of the game, that's when Barcelona get on the ball. But, that's where all their injuries show again. To address you, Ifti, Yamal was injured too, as you pointed out, Loconte. And our rotations were good, but independently from the fact that our defensive rotations were good in the second half, they were so dead. They had nothing out there. They had Yamal passing to Rashford, with the one bright spot being, and they still have depth, and why they're so good, Fermin from their La Masia. Fermin was honestly their scariest player the whole game. I was actually scared he would do something in the second half.
But even his shots, right? I think Fermin had 3. He had 3 shots on goal, if I'm not mistaken. But even those were not the clearest cut, those were, if I remember, pretty easy saves for Courtois. Right? Nothing really stretched or pushed or challenged him from Fermin.
I mean, look, if we're transitioning from first half to second half, right? They had 7 shots in the first half, just 8 in the second. You know, like I do know that post the penalty, yes, it was a little bit of okay. We could have killed the game here and just be calmer, and the players felt that. Still, though, that first half, Barcelona was still carrying that, okay, we had to run a lot. We were way too uncomfortable. So even when we were down, they just couldn't take advantage of it. Just because, and then we reshuffled, right? You saw the subs getting ready. You saw the players warming up. Everything was going to be reshuffled at one point by Alonso because he noticed that, okay, so right now, if I stick to this, they are doing a good job, but I might be found out at any point because, well, all it takes is one moment. You saw the goal conceded, right? 3-1, Mbappe scores that penalty, this game over. You probably get 2 or 3 more because they're so gassed. They're going to be down emotionally. That kind of was like what really took the big victory out. But regardless of that, I feel that the team outside of Mbappe responded well as the game progressed. Mbappe, though, that confidence got shattered.
What did you guys think of the penalty? It was obviously a good save by Chesney, but this is my overall like penalty feeling. Like, I really hate that like slow jog up, skip, wait. Like, dude, pick in your mind where you're gonna go and fucking go there. Right? Like, I hate that shit. Like, that makes me so uncomfortable. But that's just a personal thing.
You always miss some, and I know you can take your run up this that, but like, yeah, I mean, I like the faster run ups too, but man, it's just hard sometimes. I will say, I mean, it wasn't the best penalty. Like, when you miss, it's probably not the best penalty in the world. I don't think you can say that was one where the goalie just did a great job. I thought Mbappe kind of like wasn't the best. I
mean, it was a good save, right? Because it was upper right corner for Chesney, right?
Well, also, I just want to say, I don't think Mbappe is as good a penalty taker as, say, Ronaldo. Like, a little worse.
He's not an elite penalty taker. Like, I don't think we have had an elite penalty taker since like Ramos, if we really want to be honest here.
Yeah, because elite is 90%.
Rated a lot with his penalties.
Oh, really? I didn't check Benz's percentage, but yes, I believe Ramos is the best, and Ronaldo was
Ramos he has to be our last. I really trust this guy to make it 9 out of 10 times. With the rest, it's more like a 6 out of 10. Really.
Yeah.
Even Jude missed one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jude has missed, Vini has missed, Mbappe has missed, Modric missed last season. Mm-hmm. Like, reality is we're not that good at taking penalties. Like, that's the reality of it.
You know who could be good? Franco. Franco could be a monster at those.
He could be. Be.
Ice cold and has a shot on him. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
if
you're
what about Arda? Arda's got a shot.
Arda's got a shot, and I think Arda took one for Turkey, which was pretty damn good. So that's another name. But you gotta leave it to your top scorer. You get me? Like, Mbappe is still gonna make it more often than he's gonna miss it. That's the reality of it.
Yes, and also I just want to say Ronaldo statistically is a little worse than eye test would say. He wasn't as good as Ramos's best stretch. Ramos's best stretch was way better than Ronaldo's. Like, Ronaldo is still in the 82%, but if you drop a little bit below 80 for any prolonged stretch for me, I'm just like, I feel a little uncomfortable.
You're like, I don't want you taking these.
Yeah, I can accept for 1 in 5 penalties being missed by my top scorer. I'm okay with that. It's just, I mean, at the end of the
Ronaldo penalty missed us the league in 14-15 against Valencia. I know that it was Diego Alves, but it was a Ronaldo penalty that literally kills us in a league. Mm-hmm. So it happens. All I'm saying is that it happens. I'm not saying that Ronaldo was bad or anything. I'm just pointing out the fact that even though what we would consider the greatest penalty taker ever, by given the number of volume or the volume of penalties that he's taken, even he's missed. He's missed the Champions League final one. He's missed one of the La Liga deciders. He's missed penalties. The Bayern Munich one, which comes to mind, like, I would like to calm down the Mbappe thing by our fan base when it comes to that.
Oh yeah, I'm not killing him for sure.
On the note of Ronaldo and examples and all those different things, I just want to bring up the Vini sub because to me it felt like someone who's idolized Ronaldo and just feels like, hey, I won 2 Champions League. I'm him. it felt like a bit like a Ronaldo lash out, honestly. And just want to touch on that. So first, the substitutions. Like Loconte, you pointed out that Vini was tracking a little slowly. Now, Jarod, you pointed out Vini felt like he had tracked really well. I will point out now that right before he got subbed in the last 5-ish minutes, he did actually have one really nice effort where he tracked back and went after Yamal. And I think he looked tired though. It looked like a lot more tired. And I was really, really nervous in that spell of the game. I'll just bring up the chart. But around the 70th minute, around the time Vini got subbed, I was terrified it would become 2-2. And ultimately, that substitution was necessary, as you pointed out, Loconte.
It was a must. Like, the reality was that the effort of the first half and the energy that Vini was expelling up, going high, carrying the ball a lot, because this was one of the games where we decided to do that, he didn't have a lot on his tank. You can mention 1 or 2 sequences where he came back, but there were like 5 sequences when Fermin was just going on the inside and Carreras was, and then Dean gets the yellow card, so he can't be a +1 to Carreras. So therefore, Dean has to retreat. So Tchouaméni gets pulled out. So it's just like one player leaving that is causing a lot of issues elsewhere. And that's why I'm fully on board with the sub, and I won't change my stance to that. If I'm Alonso, I'm just taking Vini to the film room and being like, look, this minute, this minute, this minute, this minute, this minute. This happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. It's not about your performance, it's about what the team needed. Are you a team player or not?
And that's what will happen. That's what's... I just want to say, yes, that was a bad reaction, but my prediction, I'm putting out there right now while this Vini contract thing still plays out in front of us. I predict Alonso has to talk with him. He gets him on board, and this is fine going forward. I think, I think, listen, here's how the combo goes. If you're Vini, though, Vini's going to look for the film and look for other reasons to get Mbappe or someone else off and be like, hey, what about him? And I think that's where I like Alonso, because he's going to base it off the film. I don't think Alonso's going to be like, no, he's going to sit down and talk to everyone. Yeah. And he's also closer to their age where he can have that conversation. I think, so my hot take is that we move on from this really effectively. And I hate you, ESPN FC, for milking it. Screw you guys.
Oh, they're going to milk the fuck out of this all week.
They did. It was their only tweet. It was their only tweet for like 20 minutes after it happened. Like, it was just up. Like,
get ready, because we don't play again until the weekend, right? No midweek fixtures.
That's the only way you stop us. By breaking this up. And I just want to say that's the only way you stop this team, by breaking them up, because they're cooking. They're cooking.
No, I'm with you, and I think you're right. I think Alonso will handle the Vini situation correctly, right? Like, because he will understand. Remember that earlier, a couple weeks ago, he said, "I didn't talk to Vini much today because it seemed like he needed just a little calm down period." But then we talked today, and everything's fine, right? So he will know when to approach him to talk to. All right, I know you're upset, and you did play well. But here's what was happening to Loconte's point. These are the sequences I saw. And with only a 1-goal lead, we needed someone with fresher legs to do X, Y, and Z. And Vini is not I think a common misconception about him that non-Madridistas have, or even some within the fan base, is that he's not a team guy. And I vehemently disagree with that. Vini is very much a team guy. And so I think he'll be like, no, you're right. This is for the team. That was the heat of the moment and my emotions. You are correct. And that was the right play to make.
Do you know what we missed with Vini after the sub? Is the fact that, once 80th minute would hit, he would go to the fans and just go like, cheer up, I don't want you guys to stop. Like, he's very good at doing that. He's very good at communicating with his teammates. I think that there is definitely a lot of love between all of them. I don't see a breaking up situation here. I just think that Vini was playing really well offensively. And let's keep in mind, like, Vini comes from an environment in Madrid which valued offense way over defense, to the point where he didn't value defense at all, where he was told, stay up, I don't care, I just want you to do the offensive stuff well, which Vini was doing, to his credit, still. But now you're in different environment, and now Vini is going to have to adjust to it. It's becoming a little bit harder for him on emotional side, I feel, to adjust to this, because tactically, this looks to be one of the better versions of Vinicius that we have seen as a player, right? He's calmer when it comes to the opposition, like he's not falling traps. We're seeing the amount of red cards, what he's able to win. We even talked about the penalty that he won, the calmness that he had on that situation. I feel that as a player, as a footballer itself, he's evolving. his mind, his football mind is evolving. Now it's more of like, okay, temper down those emotions, understand that this was for the better of the team. And I do know where you're coming from, because Vini would definitely have a counter argument, and he would go like, well, what if we conceded regardless? Then who's there to really take the team forward? Because I was the best at doing that, which he would have been correct. But Barca didn't look threatening enough for you to take that gamble. And the gamble was the fact that you only needed to block that lane for them, and you would have been fine. So, as we saw it happen, it was fine. Like, one thing, talking about the subs, right? Assuming that the Vini thing is over here. Brahim Diaz.
Yeah, why no Franco?
Great sub.
Wait, so why no Franco? That's my question. I'm actually confused.
I appreciated that tight space dribbling a little bit more than Franco's energy, and the fact that he would run into the channels more. I think that
because Franco in those situations, that's giving away. He might give away in those situations, right? And we've seen him do that, turn the ball over. Like, whereas Brahim is such a tight space dribbler. He's so good at that.
Brahim does turn the ball over when he takes chances, but if he needs to keep it, he's safe. Franco just kind of turns it over no matter what. So yeah, I agree.
Franco just kind of gives the ball into like a vertical lane, while with Brahim it's more of like horizontal, right? The player still have to orientate his body. Franco is like direct to the player, so he's going to lose it and immediately allow the run forward. He tracks back, to his credit. The thing is that if you could predict that Marc Casado and Araujo were going to come in, Franco would have been the perfect sub. Because by that point, Barcelona just went like, cross the ball, because there is nothing that we can do. Turnovers were much less of a problem because they were just not congested enough on the wings. So
I will say,
I don't want to say it backfired, but Barca still took Brahim out.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Loconte. Because we're now late in the second half, right, where Barcelona has more possession. I want to say at halftime it was 51-49 possession. It was basically 50-50. And then by the end of the game, it ended up being like 60-something, I think, for Barcelona, just because we let them have it in positions that they couldn't do anything in the second half.
The only worry... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sid.
The only worry, the only moment in the half that scared me was that Koundé chance. And Koundé stupidly, even the commentator pointed it out, he stupidly chested it down.
But again, do you guys think that was by design? Like, okay, Koundé's going to run in because I'm not worried about if he gets the ball in there, like he's less of a concern than somebody.
I don't think it was by design, but I do think I just thought he beat us. Like, it was a good run, but I think he's the one guy you needed to fall to in that situation, and thank God it was him. Koundé, bro, just go take some time off. We get it. Like, you don't look like yourself.
To the chest and not to the head.
No, yes, but when you look at it, are you telling me Koundé couldn't reorient his body though in that moment? But yes, it was weighted to the chest. I'm just saying, like, I watch it, it's coming here. Is there nothing you can do to like?
Yeah, can you dive and throw your head at it?
Diving header, yeah, dive down, slow down your run, diving header or something.
Did you have that opportunity? Because Dean was there, so
he was open. He was wide open. No, he was wide open. He was wide open. He was completely wide open.
What I'm saying is that from the moment when Yamal releases, he doesn't have enough time because he's not naturally expecting it. He expected them. What I think, what they normally do is the fact that on normal flick situation, that would have been ball to the fullback, ball back to Yamal, then the ball would have come in. So I think that because the timing was a little bit miscued and he read that late, he opted for the chest rather than to dive for the header. Because he didn't have enough time to think of what's the best choice there.
Maybe, yeah. Regardless of what happened, that was scary. And I think our only mistake of that and the Goulart mistake were that and the Goulart moment. And I've watched Clásicos for years. If we're not up by 2, you always get one of those. So I was scared the whole second because you do get one of those. Even years like when they had Koeman, they would still get one of those. And you have to like make sure you survive it.
You know, this team is set up in a way where we are surviving those better than we have in the past, right? How many 1-goal leads did we have last year that ended up being draws or in some cases outright defeats, right? Because we just could not maintain a 1-goal lead. And I think that because one of the things I enjoyed about the team in this match was out of possession when Barcelona get the ball back, everybody got back into the shape that Alonso wanted, and it was good. There weren't gaps to find, and right, Pedri was looking for that. There was nowhere to go, no gap for you to thread that pass in, nothing. There was nothing there, so you got to just keep passing it sideways and backwards and try to recycle and come back around. So I thought, again, our ability to hold on to leads while it is scary and looks like, oh my God, we might concede, and look, the ball bounces bad or whatever, sure, it could happen, but I think the structure is there, and the mindset of what to do and how to protect is there. It's just a matter of, do we execute it or not when we have these 1-goal leads?
And also, what's it called? The other thing is not only defensively, but on the ball. Sometimes Courtois and even Tchouaméni, but especially Courtois, we've criticized him for being slow, not being brave. He was really, really brave in some of those passes. Very proud. That, it wasn't easy. He's not fully trusting his technique, but he's 100% focused, so he can do it. I respect that. And I thought our time wasting was not always efficient sometimes. Rodrigo, what are you doing, bro? Just take it to the corner. Don't shoot at the goalie. Take it to the corner. But I thought Courtois kind of understood that mandate. And Tchouaméni, I think this is a great example of how when we really figure it out, the focus is not going to be on Tchouaméni defensively. It's not going to be or his lack of touches and his speed of pass. Nobody was talking about Tchouaméni being slow on the ball and Fede. Right. And I think part of that is because obviously we weren't trying to fix them in their half positionally and play slow. We just were trying to get at them because we know they're weak. But I think the other part of it is also just they're growing slowly, and I think there's going to be a big game when people forget that there was a convo that our midfield doesn't have enough. That's this was a game where you're not looking at the midfield saying it doesn't have enough. But obviously Barcelona, just to bring that super chat up, I will just say they defend so badly at points. That Atletico game was honestly a harder matchup. Atletico Madrid right now are a harder matchup for us than Barcelona.
There is a way in which Atletico plays with an intensity that, for whatever reason, right, we struggle with. And also, as Loconte pointed out, Diego Simeone, who I do not like, he just outcoached Alonso in that matchup, right? He was just better in terms of what they wanted to do. The question is on the return to the Bernabeu, what will Alonso have learned by that time, and what will he do different tactically to match that, assuming we come to the match with the right energy, which I think we will based on how they played today.
Well, Simeone is more flexible, right?
Yeah, I've been watching the film, that I've beaten the bush kind of with this, but it doesn't look as bad as the scoreline shows. When you rewatch it and you see that really there are big details, because midfield rotation is a big detail when it comes to receiving the ball. But today, and what he tried to do against Atleti were not vastly different. It's just that today the players could execute. So this, when we talk about reps, this when we talk about, okay, we have had more time to prepare about this. Okay, we're just better set up now to deal with this. The Juve game, for example, gave me a lot of confidence on this team, because Juve are unorthodox. I'm not saying they're the best team in the world, but they are very unorthodox to deal with. And dealing in that manner with them, I just went okay, now you're going to play a much more predictable team. So I don't really expect us to struggle. You guys know, my game's prediction, I had a 2-0. Funny enough, we conceded that goal. But on a general sense, I just was ultra super confident on what Alonso was doing as a coach getting into this game. And I feel that it still has, craziest part here is that it still has a lot of room to improve. It's not a fully polished product where you go okay, this is it. This is the ceiling of this team. We're seeing the best version. No, we're not. We're getting there slowly, but this is not the best version of this team. There are still player tendencies. There are still tactical changes that Alonso is going to need to do throughout now and what we like to call peak season, which would start from March and onwards with the Champions League and the league deciders and all of this. So he has plenty of time. For as long as he's getting the results, now he has a 4-point lead against Barca, if I'm correct, right?
5, I think, because they were 2 points behind. We won 3, so 5 now.
Okay, so
That's nice.
5 points behind. So naturally, he's got 2 losses to lose this first place now, which could and probably will happen at some point, and that is saying that Barcelona will be perfect, which is highly unlikely. So he's got himself now this leverage. All of this season, he's won every game but one. Every game but one. There hasn't been a single draw. Like, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
Really impressive.
Yeah, we did a bucketing of all the different fixtures we played on a show earlier, and we kind of bucketed, and it was like all the games except Atletico and Sociedad were pretty solid win probability. Some of them maybe closer to 75, 80%. Others were really 90% maybe. And today falls into those last 2 buckets, which is nice. Because like an expected goal difference, a chance creation difference, a progression difference this large while you're a work in progress is the stuff that dreams are made of. Like, there's really nothing more you can ask for. I mean, football is realistic. Like, even the best seasons, teams have growing pains. So I take that Atletico loss for this win. And I'll put it this way: if we had to like just drop one game so we could win the rest, I'll take it. Like, that's just how I would go about it.
I'm looking at the final numbers. 23 total shots. They had 15. 4 big chances. They had 2. We mentioned the XGs, 3.6 to 1. We had 12 corners. They had 4. I mean, it was really a dominant performance. And to me, you saw that in the reaction of Barcelona towards the end of the game and as the whistle blew. First, all the off the field, like fighting before the final whistle blew. If you watch, all started by the Barcelona side because whatever, they're sore losers. Right. And so I think Lunin got a yellow card because he was telling them to go back on your side, whatever. All this stuff to Yamal, who, by the way, talked a lot of shit about himself and his team heading into this game, that when they beat me, they can talk. It's like, well, we did. And we are talking. Right. Like, what say you now? Right. And so, and
they tried to steal and cheat. They tried to steal and cheat.
Correct. And one of the things we talked about with this team is, you want guys to have a little bit of look. This is football. This is not MMA. This is not boxing, right? But I want guys to stand up for themselves. And if somebody's getting in your face or whatever, have the chutzpah to push them away, and just stand up for yourself. And I was very impressed that Real Madrid players stood up for themselves and was like, "We're not taking any shit from you dudes. Like, whatever. We won. Deal with it. Get the fuck out of here."
Yep.
Oh, also, we have a week.
You know what was funny? It was Carvajal calming the players down.
Well, did you see Carvajal when the final whistle blew? He went up to Yamal and was like, said like, "Hey man, all this chatter," and was like, and then it all then it's.
Wait, did he do that? Did he do that?
Yeah, he literally did the talking too much thing to Yamal as he went to him, and then yeah.
I just want to say though,
that beef, it was Carvajal just taking players like, don't fight. Well,
yeah, because we don't want, because the legal come back and be like, you get red cards post game, and now you're suspended for like the next 5 matches or whatever.
Well, Pedri's out of here, so I'm happy. Like, get out of here, Pedri.
What's the
Pedri?
It's hustlers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And Judy's a combination of elite footballer and a hustler, which I'm just like, damn, like that mentality of where he doesn't shy away from a single thing, and combined with that ridiculous football talent and athleticism, and I'm like, holy fuck! I mean, what a footballer I'm watching here, because I thought he was so good today. I feel that Jude is not getting the credit that he deserves anymore, because kind of like, he's not scoring the 9.
Well, that's right, because he's not scoring a million goals. Yep.
Like, Jude does not need to score. Like against Hetafe in the first half, he was incredible, just like today. And people were like, no, he's not. I'm like, he's doing all the right reads. He's making the play. He's moving left and right wherever it was required. He's hustling for everything. Like, that's what I want from a footballer. Like, it's not all about, like, can I spin 180 degrees and make a dribble? You know, you can do that. But football is more than that. And Jude is like, I love every player, right? But the reality is that this team will not and does not feel the same without him. That's my stance on it.
For sure. The energy management is huge because, like,
yes.
Barcelona, like, I think this is why I just want to see our players just destroy them. And, like, one, they have less money, so they're squeezing all these La Masia players, and now half of them are hurt because Flick squeezes all of them as much as possible. And I think, like, today was great because Jude's played in smaller spaces. Alonso's added, like, probably 10 years to his life and a bunch of years to his career as well, both. It's just by not playing him. Like, I say to his life because that was, like, that was ridiculous cardiovascular exertion from him, those couple, like, that under Carlo. That was unnecessary.
No, it's just so nice to see him not have to expend all his energy running up and down the pitch, and then he can win duels and score and assist. I mean, he had all involvement in both goals today, right? It was his through pass on Mbappe for the score, and then he scored the second one, right? Like, so, like, he's an elite player, man. Like, to me, I mean, okay, we're biased to Madrid podcast, but I think he's the best midfielder in world football. But fuck it.
Also, Arda got unlucky to not get that assist when Mbappe was called offside. But great play from Arda to that whole sequence when our players had pressed from the front. We went long. Tchouaméni heads it down. Arda gets it somewhere in the middle, plays it through. It was played offside, but that disallowed goal I thought was one of our best sequences of the game, just showing how we controlled things everywhere. And I'm really happy with the energy management. And as some people in the comments point out, Eder Militao, just got to talk about him.
So good.
He looks like peak Sergio Ramos, but he just came off 2 ACLs. I'm so confused. I'm like, I know he has great genetics, but I just think this is a breakthrough moment in world. Like, I just think he's an inspiration. Like, anyone recovering from a second leg injury or even one should just look into his story, because obviously he did something wrong that led to a second one, but now he's doing everything right on some level. Obviously, like, you don't get this.
Yeah,
it's the biggest game in club football. Like, literally, if you told me and when he got hurt next October he's going to dominate the Clasico, I would not have believed it.
No, he was out of control. Tackles, ground duels won, aerial duels won. Like, he was just all over the place today. Like, it's almost like a new signing, right? Because we were all like, can we count on Militao coming off of 2 ACLs? Like, I don't know. And now it's like, Jesus Christ, if we don't have him, we're fucked, right? Like, so he has been outstanding this season. Like, I mean, you could make an argument that he is best center back in world football, top 3. Like, you can make that argument.
He's top. One question to you guys.
He was there in 21-22. Arguably the best on that stretch of winning the Champions League.
Yep. He was because he carried all of us.
This level is unusual for him. It's just the circumstances are unusual.
Correct.
2 ACLs. Well, this season literally had no preseason to begin with.
I hope
whatever his wife is doing, she should.
I'm hoping him and some of the other guys can. What do we have? Villarreal this weekend? Who do we have this weekend? We have somebody.
Valencia.
But fucking A, I knew it was a V team. Can we rotate anybody out this weekend before? I know Liverpool's not playing well, but before we go to Anfield on Wednesday.
I think you'll see plenty of rotations for that game.
Wait, I don't know. We have a full week off. Traditionally, when there's a week off, I don't know. Like, it's just, we got a full week off. They might be like, just go play a couple games, take the international break.
Another international break is coming.
Yeah, so
now you're gonna get everyone out there.
I would just say, like, you look to rotate when you're in a tough stretch, when someone unexpected gets hurt. When you have a week off with an international break coming up, you look for reasons to get your starters more reps, I think.
No doubt. I just worry about a guy like Militao because we rely on him so much coming off the 2 ACLs. Like, I don't want to overplay him this early in the season.
Agreed.
I'm just going to say this, since we're talking about energy. You know what my fear is? De La Fuente was watching Carreras.
I know.
Goes like, yep, my starter now.
I know. But I hope his anti-Real Madrid bias kicks in and he fucks up again and doesn't call him. Like, please keep that going. One person I want to shout out again to, Sid, before you go. I thought Camavinga was great today. We talked about him, Sid and Loconte, and I said, if this dude is healthy, what a fucking game changer he is, because you can't dribble past him. If you nick the ball off him, he will just take it back from you. He's press resistant, like way better than I think people realize. He's outstanding. I thought he had a really, really good game in midfield today.
Yeah.
His performance also amplified a lot when he was put like in double pivot. Once the subs happen and he's on center and he can get the ball forward comfortably. What a footballer, man. Like, genuinely, like, Camavinga is just... I don't like when he has to run into space like a winger, like we saw in a couple of times. I don't think he's made for that. I feel like that's more of like a Valverde thing when Valverde is on midfield. That's what I would like to see Valverde do more. But if you sit him there with Tchouaméni, bro.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck getting anything through there.
we have been talking about this pairing for a very long time, right? For a very long time. And we had this... I don't want to say delusion, but it's kind of like a delusion of what Camavinga and Tchouaméni would look like. Getafe and Barcelona finally are like, okay, so this is it, eh? This is the pivot from hell, basically, for any team. Pivot from hell. This is what I want to call it. Pivot from hell.
I love those guys.
Question to the cast we got. And I've been thinking on this. Did anyone see 2011 Mourinho in this Xabi performance? But the game has evolved too much to really do a straight comparison. But I want to do a little breakdown here of the similarities and differences. I think defensively, very unusually similar to the best of Mourinho and even Zidane. With Zidane, the mid block and like the ability to confidently defend deeper later in the game, and the ability to just keep him out of your territory. In terms of Mourinho, the quick transitions, the desire to break them in transition. But the main difference is the that Militao set play, man. That's not Mourinho. That's all Alonso. I think that's the new thing Alonso brings in, because he understands that the way the game works, you need to find an advantage somewhere. And if you're going to tell the team to not lose the ball sometimes, you need to give them solutions that are obvious. Mourinho would just tell them what to do. Zidane played very positionally and would give them solutions. He was a little more defensive. Alonso seems slightly more creative offensively. Is that just me?
I think you drew good parallels there. I think he looked a lot more like Zidane than he did a Mourinho, because Mourinho would have fallen immediately back into that low block and just allow entries. How I imagine that Mourinho would have approached this. Not a bad thing, but he loved his transitions. He loved to create, engage that space. Wasn't always the worst, but I think that it has evolved too much. It felt a lot more like Zidane. Okay, you don't need to push, but they were still pushing, right? There were sequences on the 80th minute where they're pressing, right? It's not a team that's just waiting to be attacked. It's a team that is very much like, okay, bring it on at all times. So yeah, it's more of like a controlled chaos, I want to say. So more like a Zidane style of coaching.
Perfect description. And a little update for you guys, because La Liga and all the post-match festivities. Yellow cards to Vini, Rodrigo, Militao, Ferran Torres, Balde, and Fermin.
Oh wow, 6 yellow cards. At least it's 3 each side. I'll give them that.
Yellow cards pulls the game. Damn.
That's funny.
This would be
Lunin got a red card. What the?
What?
Yeah, Lunin got a red card.
Yes, Lunin got a red card during the game, though. During that big, like what?
On the screen, I saw it as a yellow. I just went into the post, and now it's saying red.
Red. Wow. Yeah, you got a red. Listen, that's crazy, but listen, they were just trying to maybe get us more suspensions. Listen, if everyone gets suspended equally, we have a bench, they don't, and their guys get hurt, so we win. If everyone's going to take it. If we're doing attrition here, we got more than you. We got more money, we got more players, we got everything. All you guys got is La Masia and child abuse. You guys got that child abuse going for you. That's all you can do.
Jude in his post-match presser, they asked him about his goal. He's like, "Oh, just a tap in." He's like, "It's just a tap in, right?" He's like, "I'm lucky, apparently." That's what they say. I love that Jude's throwing that shit back out at people. This is my proof to all of you who think athletes don't listen to the stuff that people say about them. I promise you, if they don't hear it directly themselves, somebody in their group tells them, "Oh, you know what so and so said about you? XYZ is the case," right? So they know.
Talk is cheap, he said also in his post. Hala Madrid. Talk is cheap, Yamal. Win a ring, then talk. You have 0 rings. I don't count La Liga here. I'm a Champions League guy. We got 6 rings. We got 2 in the last few years. We got more rings than the other clubs. Win a ring, then talk. I really think, fine, he has a Euro. I'll give him that. He has a ring. But, man, cooking those national teams, bro, they're not like this, bro. There's no Real Madrid in national teams. Like, we're the best. The national teams can't stack the deck with the best player at every position. Try and beat us. And
oh, man.
Listen, I just think we have better footballers.
National team going into next year, so we'll see.
Tuchel, yeah. Let's see how your Luis de la Fuente does when he plays a real club coach, buddy.
You're Luis de la Fuente.
Listen, and for what it's worth, de la Fuente is actually one of the best national team coaches. Probably like that possession play. You don't get that fluidity from too many national team coaches. But Tuchel is one of the best coaches, knockouts. Period. Tuchel is like for England what Alonso was for us in this fixture.
Okay, quick question for you guys, for both of you. If Tuchel was coaching England in that Euro final last year, does England win?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For me, they do.
Yes.
Even with the fatigued attackers, even though Yamal was more fresh than Giroud and Kane was tired, I still think they figured it out. Because Tuchel is like, remember what Bayern? Remember, they almost stole that 24 CL with us with Alphonso Davies. Like they remember that as a season they could have won the title. They were 20 minutes from winning the title. So yeah, but listen, I think we should wrap it up here. That was a great win. I think it wasn't like the result wasn't what we wanted in terms of comfort and lack of stress. Like even on the show, I could just feel the little bit of stress from watching the last 20 minutes still rebounding. But like all show, if you guys thought we were a little jittery, man, that couldn't have chance heart attack because it was just 2-1 and we slapped them. I'm like, this cannot end 2-2. That would have been a nightmare. I would not want to be on the show. So.
It would have been an undeserved win, an undeserved draw, because again, the underlying stats suggest that we were clearly the superior team. If you just look at and just rewatch the game, like look at the chances created, look at it's just rewatch, right? Like we were the superior team.
It wasn't even a competition.
Yeah. Really quick, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Tell other people you know who want to hear about great Real Madrid stuff to subscribe to the channel. Share this with your friends. If you want the audio-only version of this, guess what? It's going to be on Apple and Spotify in a little while. So you can listen to it later.
Okay,
and then I believe...
just a quick announcement for the Apple Spotify since you're there. Those of you who listen on podcast platforms, we're sorry about the last week of shows being removed. So our beautiful intro music is from an awesome artist named Hanu Dixit, who have reached out to. He had an update in his copyright on Spotify, so that's why the episodes were missing at points. They're all up now, and the Spotify and Apple versions of the episodes will not have the intro. So if you are here for the real deal movie experience and the intro, got to come to YouTube. But we're working on bringing it back to Spotify and Apple as soon as possible.
I love it, the movie experience. And then we will have we will have more content this week. Loconte and I tomorrow are going to be doing a show, and then of course we have the Friday shows we always do, and then when we play Valencia, we'll have the Valencia post game as well. So lots of content to come from the Real Deal. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, take care.